The moment she said, "I'm not sure about us anymore," something inside me went quiet. Not shattered, not yet, just quiet. Like the eerie stillness before a storm, when the air itself feels heavier, warning you of what's coming. We were sitting across from each other at our favorite cafe, the one where we'd spent countless lazy Sunday mornings, where she used to steal the foam from my cappuccino and smile like a kid caught doing something adorable. Today, that same woman wouldn't meet my eyes. Her hands trembled slightly as she stirred her coffee. Clockwise, pause, clockwise again, the rhythm of guilt. "Not sure about us," I repeated, voice steady but low, watching her flinch as if the words burned her tongue. "Yeah," she whispered. "I just feel lost, Mark. I don't know who I am anymore. Maybe we rush things. Maybe I need some space to figure things out." I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But my gut, that ancient primal part of me that always knew when something was wrong, had been screaming for weeks. The late nights at work, the sudden obsession with privacy, the unfamiliar perfume on her scarf. I'd ignored it all, telling myself she was just tired, that every couple goes through phases, that love, our love, was strong enough. But that morning, as she fed me those rehearsed lines about finding herself, something in me snapped into clarity. I already knew the truth. 2 weeks earlier, I had no intention of spying. That's not who I am. But when your wife smiles at her phone more than she does at you, when she guards it like it holds nuclear codes, and when her late-night client calls end with muffled laughter, you start to wonder. That night, she fell asleep on the couch, phone still in her hand. I hesitated for a long time before picking it up. My heart hammered so loudly it felt like it might wake her. The first message I saw wasn't even explicit. "John, can't stop thinking about last night." "Sarah, you're impossible. What if he finds out?" "John, then I'll finally have an excuse to steal you for real." "Sarah, you wouldn't say that if you saw the look in his eyes lately." My vision blurred. For a few seconds, the world tilted, the edges of everything dissolving. I read the thread twice, each time hoping it would change. Didn't. Her coworker. The same guy she'd once described as harmless, a bit flirty but sweet. The same man she'd mentioned a dozen times, always casually, always too often. I placed the phone back exactly where it had been, pretending to sleep when she stirred. She never suspected a thing. The next day I called a lawyer. Quietly. Only. I wasn't going to beg. Not again. Back to the cafe. So when she said she wasn't sure about us, I didn't argue. I didn't plead for her to stay. Instead I smiled, a calm, hollow thing, and said, "That's all right, Sarah. I already filed." Her eyes snapped up, confusion flickering into disbelief. "You what?" "Filed," I said softly. "For divorce." The color drained from her face. "You can't be serious." "Oh, I'm very serious," I said, sliding a folded document from my jacket pocket. "You'll get the official copy soon enough." Her lips parted, struggling for air. "Why would you?" I leaned forward slightly. "Say hi to John for me." That's when she froze. Her hand stopped midair, the spoon clattering against the cup. Her pupils widened, and for the first time in weeks, she looked at me. Really looked at me, like seeing a stranger wearing her husband's face. "How long have you known?" she whispered. "Long enough." She swallowed hard, tears pooling at the corners of her eyes. "Mark, it's not what you think." "Then what is it, Sarah? Enlighten me. Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like my wife found herself in someone else's bed." Her face crumpled. "It wasn't like that. Just happened. I was lonely, you were distant." "Don't," I cut in, voice sharper than I meant. "Don't rewrite history to make this easier for you. I wasn't distant, Sarah. I was trying. You were just already gone." The cafe's hum faded into silence. A couple at the next table stopped talking, pretending not to listen. Outside, rain started to fall, tapping against the window like an impatient rhythm. She covered her face, sobbing quietly. For a second, just a second, I felt pity. That old instinct to comfort her stirred inside me, the part of me that once believed we could fix anything. But pity doesn't rebuild trust. And love isn't supposed to hurt like this. The night she left. She came home later that night, suitcase in hand. She didn't say a word. I watched from the doorway as she packed in silence, folding sweaters, grabbing toiletries, moving like someone underwater. Every sound felt amplified. The creak of the dresser, the rustle of fabric, the quiet click of the zipper. When she turned to leave, she stopped by the door, hesitating. "You're not going to fight for me?" she asked, her voice trembling. I almost laughed. "You already made your choice, Sarah. I'm just living with it." She looked at me for a long moment, maybe hoping I'd take it back, maybe realizing what she'd really lost, then walked out. The door closed softly, but it echoed like thunder. The weeks that followed. Grief doesn't come all at once. It arrives in waves. Unpredictable, cruel. One minute you're fine. The next, you're staring at the empty side of the bed, wondering how someone can vanish and still haunt every inch of the house. I threw myself into work. Into anything that wasn't her. But every small thing carried her ghost. The scent of her shampoo in the bathroom, the dent on her pillow, the unfinished mug she used to leave on the counter. One night I saw her name light up my phone. "Sarah, can we talk?" I stared at the message for a long time before typing back. "About what?" Her reply came fast. "About us, please. I made a mistake. John doesn't mean anything." A bitter laugh escaped me. Now she wanted to talk. Now, when the papers were already in motion. I didn't respond that night. Or the next. When she finally showed up at my door 2 weeks later, she looked like a shadow of the woman I married. Tired. Ill. Regret written all over her face. "Mark, please," she said. "I ended it with him. I've been so stupid. I didn't realize how much I'd lose until he didn't choose you either." I asked quietly. She flinched. Tears welled up. "That's not fair." "Neither is betrayal," I said. "But here we are." She reached for my hand. "Can't we at least try again?" Pulled away. "Sarah, the moment you decided I wasn't enough, you ended us. I just made it official." Her breath hitched. "I still love you." I met her eyes. "No, you love the idea of forgiveness. You love the safety I gave you. But you don't love me, not anymore." For the first time, she didn't argue. She just nodded slowly, tears spilling freely, and whispered, "I'll always be sorry." Then she turned and walked away again. This time I didn't watch. Months later, the divorce finalized quietly, almost unceremoniously. One signature and a few typed words ended 7 years of love, laughter, and shared dreams. But peace, I discovered, isn't something you sign for. Something you reclaim piece by piece. I started running again. I reconnected with friends I'd pushed away. Slowly, I stopped checking her social media, stopped wondering where she was or who she was with. Then one morning, while grabbing coffee near my office, I saw her across the street, standing alone, looking lost. She saw me too. Our eyes met for just a second. She smiled, small and sad. I nodded, polite, distant. There was a time when that look would have undone me. But now it was just a reminder of everything that broke and everything I survived. As I walked away, I realized something. Closure doesn't come from hearing them say sorry. Comes from finally meaning it when you say, "I'm done." And I was. Final scene. That night, I stood on the balcony, city lights stretching endlessly below. The air was cool, carrying the faint hum of life. Car horns, laughter, the world moving on. I took a deep breath and whispered into the quiet. Not for her, but for myself. "I forgive you, Sarah. But I'll never go back." Somewhere deep inside, the silence that had once suffocated me began to feel different. Not empty. Not broken. It was still. And in that stillness, for the first time in months, I felt something close to peace.